Hey everybody, how you doing? So before we start this video, I just want to go and tell you to go and follow me on Twitter /X. I'm here, Spartan Militia at Dark Knight DA. Go follow me on Twitter. I have a lot of activity over there, and should, heaven forbid, this channel ever get taken down, this is where I will be launching my new presence on whatever social media I choose to go on from. So yeah, go follow me on Twitter and keep updated as to what's happening and stuff like that. It's also a good way of finding out if I've actually uploaded a new video, because Twitter will inform you that I've uploaded a new video when I link it here, unlike YouTube itself, which seems to be at the minute shadow banning my content and stopping people from seeing my content. So yeah, go look at that. So what I want to look at is a tweet by Isabel Oakeshott. She made an absolute tit of herself on X the other day, and I responded to it. So this is what she put. I know the dying Tory party wishes it were true, but there is no row engulfing reform. There is one embittered ex-member making a lot of noise. I think we've seen the voters don't care. So let's dissect that comment from Isabel, shall we? So does Rupert Lowe have a right to be embittered by the Reform Party? Yes, he does. They tried to smear his character, they lied about him, and they tried to get him arrested and put in prison. So, falsely, by the way. I think he has every right in the world to be embittered towards the Reform Party at this point, who have treated him absolutely disgustingly. And let's not forget, right, Isabel Oakeshott is a person that made that condescending Talk TV appearance where she was basically patronising Rupert Lowe, saying, she was going, oh, poor Rupert, he's so naive when it comes to politics, he really doesn't understand it. And this was obviously a few days before they did all this to him. They knew exactly what they were going to do, and she knew it. You could tell by the look in her face that she knew what was about to happen to Rupert Lowe. I can't stand the woman. I think she's a vapid, empty-headed. Obviously, she's the wife or the girlfriend of Richard Tice, and she's every bit the upper class snob that you would expect her to be, and she is. Anyway, so I responded to that. Rupert responded as well. We'll have a look at that in a minute. So I put down here, I think you will find the voters do care and support Rupert, not the Reform Party. You're riding a false wave of hype at the moment. The collapse of the Tory and Labour Party has seen people voting for reform out of desperation. The turnout for the local elections was 40%, about average. Reform are not exactly pulling people who have lost faith in the system out to vote for them. And that is true, they're not. And I mentioned this in previous videos, that if the Reform Party was this massive tour de force that was going to change the face of British politics, you would have thought that the turnouts for the elections would have been a lot higher, because they've got a lot more support within the electorate. Turns out, no, they don't. In fact, they were winning many of these local councils by the skin of their teeth. Not by massive margins, not by huge landslides, but by the skin of their teeth. Indeed, the one, was it Runcorn, where it was just 6 votes in it. I know people keep on going about, yeah, but we overturned a majority of 14,000. Yeah, but we're also looking at the fact that the entire Labour Party is collapsing just like the Tories are. So the Labour vote is also collapsing in certain areas as well. We're looking at a situation like we had in the general election. The only reason the Labour Party won the general election is because the Tory vote totally collapsed. And it's the same situation with the Reform Party. The only reason they won big in those local elections is because both the Tory Party and the Labour Party are collapsing. I would have been more impressed at them winning all those councils if the Labour Party and the Tory Party were at full strength, and the people decided that they wanted a change of direction. But that's not what happened. That's not the situation of the local council elections, was it? So Isabel made a right fool of herself. She also got absolutely ratioed in the comments below. Everybody's coming out in support for Rupert Lowe, quite rightly so, after what the Reform Party did to him. And this is Rupert Lowe's response to Isabel. He says this: "The Reform leadership tried to put me in prison on false allegations because I questioned your Messiah." Very cutting, very telling. "So I'm sure you'll forgive me for being a little embittered at your party's weaponisation of woke lawfare." Exactly. Totally agree with Rupert there, absolutely. Let's have a look at a few more of the comments going down. And it's more of the same. And this is Ban the BBC. "I'd be embittered too if someone tried to put me in prison on false allegations. You're probably right that the electorate are desperate for any alternative to Tory Labour Uniparty. But once again, they are in a position of having the least worst option available." Exactly. That's what it is. The Reform Party was the least worst option, and that's why people voted for them. It was a protest vote, and the Farages just can't seem to get that through their heads. they really can't. So this is another interesting one here. This is from Richard J. Shaw. "Reform is a paper tiger on the verge of collapse. The only glue that holds it together is the universal desire to beat the Uniparty into submission. The problem is Reform are now part of the Uniparty. Farage is a false messiah. I agree with that fully. Him and his disciples in the leadership are leading Reform into the establishment to become part of the problem they vowed to fix." Totally agree with that. That's the way I see it as well. "The British people deserve better. Integrity Party will craft a truly independent alternative to Reform and the Uniparty, an alternative that is incapable of compromising on the core needs of Britain and its people." Totally agree with that. And now that Rupert Lowe has been cleared, he's been totally cleared of the charges that Zai Youssef and Lee Anderson brought against him, saying that he made death threats towards Zai Youssef. Absolutely rubbish. Apparently Rupert Lowe has administered an ultimatum that he must get a public apology from the Reform Party and the leadership, or he will start legal proceedings. I don't know what the time limit is on that, or whether it's already elapsed, but that's what he's basically said. We'll see what happens in regard to that. And they should apologise, because they knew that this was absolute rubbish. This was done to smear Rupert Lowe's name, to shut him down as any sort of opposition to them, because they're scared of him. Nigel Farage is absolutely terrified of Rupert Lowe. Why? Because Rupert Lowe is a true leader. He is. He leads. He gets things done, and he doesn't wait for anybody else to, put pressure on him to do things. He just gets it done. Look at the grooming gang independent inquiry. Got it done. So right, it needs doing. Let's get it done. Fun. Why didn't Nigel Farage do that? Why? Rupert Lowe has brought several bills to Parliament for MPs to sign, and one on free speech, which none of the Reform Party members as of yet have signed, one on illegal immigration. Again, none of the Reform Party people have signed up to that. Any members of Parliament have signed up to that, to either the free speech bill that he brought or the immigration. Why? You've got to ask yourself why. Because if they are going to do what they claim they're going to do, they're going to put country before party, then why haven't they signed up to these things that Rupert Lowe has brought into Parliament? Because they should agree with them. These are basically Reform Party policies, and you've got to ask yourself a question: why wasn't it Nigel Farage, Richard Tice, or Lee Anderson bringing these things and putting these things into Parliament? Why? And when you answer that question, you'll understand why the Reform Party isn't the answer for this country. It's because they are a placeholder party. They are controlled opposition. They're not meant to win. They're just meant to be in there to prevent a new party growing and gaining momentum. Unfortunately for them, as soon as Ben Habib launches his Integrity Party, which that isn't going to be the name of the party apparently, that's just a placeholder name. He's going to change the name eventually. And if Rupert Lowe then joins that party, that's going to be a tour de force. That's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Yeah, there's only two men, but they're two men with lots of influence. that get things done that people respect. People don't respect the Reform Party. They don't. People in Parliament don't respect the Reform Party because they know exactly why they're there. They're there for the gravy train. It's like that secret recording that was done of Lee Anderson before he joined the Reform Party. He said that they'd offered him money to join the party, allegedly. And he said he talked with the leadership of the Reform Party, which must have been Richard Tice and Nigel Farage at the time, to get him to join the Reform Party. And he said they weren't interested in changing the country or helping the country. All they wanted was a bit of power in Parliament to get on the gravy train, that sort of thing. Pretty much what they were doing in the European Parliament, Nigel Farage, when he was there. Because the European Parliament had no power. That was just a pantomime. That was just, actors on the stage having these supposed debates and these grand speeches. And it is all for the benefit of the electorate to make them think like they got some kind of democracy and that sort of thing. Nothing ever really got achieved in there. Nothing really ever gets achieved in the Parliament in Westminster. It's the uniparty. It's all decided beforehand. All the pageantry and the pantomime. It's scripted nonsense. It's like watching one of those reality TV shows where it says, some bits may be dramatised. That's exactly what our Parliament is. It's just to give us, the people, the illusion that we've got some kind of control, that we voted for these people and they're working on our behalf, when in reality they've got no power whatsoever, and the real people pulling all the strings are actually the civil service. That's who's really in control of our country. So yeah, Isabel Oakeshott made an absolute arse of herself. She's a vapid, vile woman, and Rupert Lowe quite rightly fired back at her, and she got absolutely ratioed in these comments going down. I'll leave a link to it if you're on Twitter. Go take a look at this comment thread. If you want to, go follow me on Twitter. I post on there daily. And yeah, I shall see you all in the next video. This is Vindicator, signing off.